In the cold and vast world under the mighty tree Yggdrasil, the story of Jörmungandr, a giant serpent, begins. It was born in the foggy lands of Jotunheim. His father was Loki, known for his tricks, and his mother was Angerboda, a giantess called the one who brings grief. They had 3 children, each with a big role in the world's fate. Jörmungandr was the middle child, Fenrir as his older brother, and Hel as his younger sister. The birth of Jörmungandr made the gods worried. They saw it as a sign of Ragnarok, the end of the world. Odin, the king of the gods, knew he had to act against these threats. He saw Jörmungandr not just as a serpent, but a big disaster waiting to happen. Quickly he took the serpent from his home and threw it into the ocean around Midgard, the world of humans. Odin thought the sea could hold the serpent's growth, but Jörmungandr grew fast in the ocean, becoming huge and powerful, thanks to its magic and strong family roots. As Jörmungandr grew bigger, it became a key figure in Norse myth. It grew so much that it could wrap around Midgard, holding its own tail. This created the Ouroboros, a symbol of endless cycle of life, death and rebirth. The serpent growth shows more than just its size. It was about the world's limit and a never-ending cycle of existence. Jörmungandr's life was a sign of what was to come for both gods and people. Its presence around Midgard warned of Ragnarok, the final battle. This battle would end the world when the serpent let go of its tail and rose from the sea. When Odin sent Jörmungandr away, he hoped to protect the world, but this act also prepared the serpent for its role in future events. This shows how complex fate is in Norse myth. Even the gods can't avoid their destiny. The serpent story is about beginnings and growth, but also about the coming fight between order and chaos. We will also look at Jörmungandr's famous battles, especially with Thor and his key part in Ragnarok. In a vast mysterious ocean, Thor went on a daring adventure that would become one of the most memorable tales of Norse mythology. His quest was not just for glory, but to confront Jörmungandr. Thor, alongside the giant Hymir, ventured far into the sea where no gods nor giants had dared to fish before. The atmosphere was tense, with the ocean's endless waves whispering of the impending clash. Thor's choice of bait and ox head was a testament to his strength and boldness. It symbolized the fearless heart of Asgard's mightiest warrior, willing to lure out a creature that the gods themselves feared. When Jörmungandr took the bait, the struggle that ensued was titanic. The serpent's immense power was evident as it thrashed the water, causing whirlpools and tempests. Thor's response, a display of unmatched might, saw him standing firm, with his divine strength pitted against the serpent's wrath. The moment Thor's feet broke through the boat's bottom, a symbolic act occurred. It was as if Thor was anchoring himself into the very foundation of the world, refusing to yield before the serpent's might. This act highlighted his connections to Midgard and his role as its protector. However, the climax of this encounter was marked by Hymir's fear-driven decisions to cut the fishing line. This moment underscored the ever-present fear of Ragnarok and the catastrophic consequences of the gods' actions. Jörmungandr's escape back into the depths was not a defeat for Thor, but a retreat in a conflict that would continue until the end of days. The second encounter between Thor and Jörmungandr is a tale not widely known from the ancient stories. This is when Thor was on a quest to enter the hall of Loki, a giant king famous for his cunning trick. To enter the hall, Loki sets challenges for the gods, a series of tasks that seemed easy but are designed to embarrass them. Thor was determined to showcase his strength. The king, with a sly smile, presented Thor with a challenge that seemed simple: to lift his cat from the ground. Thor, filled with confidence, accepted without hesitation, believing this task to be an easy victory. As Thor walked towards the cat that looked normal, everyone felt excited. The gods and giants watched closely as Thor, smiling confidently, bent down to pick up the cat. But when he tried to lift the cat, something surprising happened. The cat's body would stretch and twist in strange ways, resisting Thor's attempt. No matter how hard Thor tried, he could only lift one of the cat's paws off the ground. Hidden from the eyes of Thor and the assembled gods was the cat's true identity, Jörmungandr, disguised in its simplest of forms. The task, designed to be impossible, was a test of lifting the world itself, a feat beyond the reach of even Thor's mighty power. At that moment, everyone could see Thor's realization. He used all his strength, but discovered that some challenges can't be met with force alone. That day, gods and giants learned something important. Looks can trick you, and even the strongest might face tasks they cannot overcome. The last and final showdown between Thor and Jörmungandr is said to happen during Ragnarok, the apocalypse in the Norse myth. On the fateful day when Ragnarok dawned, Jörmungandr, the immense serpent, unleashed itself, letting go of its tail that had encircled the earth. Rising from the depths of the ocean, it unleashed a torrent of venom, tainting both the heavens and the seas from its lethal poison. Amidst the chaos, Thor and his pantheon of gods found themselves locked in a fierce battle against harbingers of destruction. As the skies darkened and the seas roiled, Thor prepared for a confrontation that would echo through the ages. The stage was set beneath the branches of Yggdrasil, the world's tree, whose very woods trembled at the impending clash. Armed with Midgard, the legendary hammer, Thor engaged Jörmungandr in a titanic struggle. Each blow from Thor sent shockwaves, causing mountains to shatter and valleys to form. The serpent, not to be outdone, retaliated with vicious strikes, its venomous fangs aiming to seal Thor's fate. The climatic moment arrived. Thor faced Jörmungandr. With a thunderous roar, Thor summoned his strength and delivered a final, devastating strike with Mjolnir, vanquishing the serpent. Yet, victory came at a grave cost. Thor, the mighty god of thunder, managed only 9 steps before the serpent's venom claimed him, fulfilling the grim prophecy that foretold their mutual demise. Thus, the legend of Ragnarok witnessed the end of both Thor, the defender of the gods, and Jörmungandr, the bringer of chaos, sealing their fates. Jörmungandr's role in Norse mythology is not just a giant serpent, it represents much more profound concepts like infinity, the endless cycle of time, and the balance between making and unmaking. The image of the serpent encircling Midgard, biting its own tail, is a powerful symbol. It stands for the Ofcourse, an ancient sign of eternal renewal. This suggests that life with all its challenges is about rebirth and starting over, a key idea in Norse belief. The never-ending fight between Jörmungandr and Thor shows the struggle between chaos and order. This struggle is vital for the universe to keep moving forward. Their final battle during Ragnarok, where they destroy each other, highlights the belief that a new world will come from the old one's ruins. This mirrors the Norse views of a universe that is always changing, where ending leads to new starts. In art and stories, Jörmungandr has inspired many over the years. Norse art and ancient carvings, like runestones in Scandinavia, often show the serpent fighting Thor. This shows how important the myth was to the Norse people. Thinking about Jörmungandr's long-lasting story helps us understand the important ideas about life and our world. It teaches us that chaos and order are both necessary to help life and the universe keep going. This was the story about Jörmungandr. Thank you for watching. Until next time.